I'm trying to look for a good light or something. Doesn't look bad, doesn't look good either from that angle. I'm not in my house, I'm not in a place, so but I'm just trying, guys, so that you can get the better and the best view possible. I tried this before, and I'm sorry that I didn't get the because I see there is a light coming behind me, which might be a little bit irritating to some of you. I think this is the best possible place I can get. Now I'm not good in any way of videos and all things. I use the best that I can, given the fact that I have no good skills when it comes to um, engineering of sorts with these things. One thing I know I have is content, right? And that is what I want to share right now. I'm not gonna be long, promise today, because I have a load share. We have a load sharing here by 2, so I literally had limited myself down to literally about 30 minutes. However, there's something I just want to quickly share, and the reason why I actually am doing this is because I'm no good of skills when I have pre-recorded videos and then I have to go have them edited and stuff like that. I'm looking for somebody that can do that for me. Sponsor me with that program or that skill, guys. I'd appreciate. However, go check out the 2 podcasts that I've done previously. The point is the content that I had given out on those, and not much of all the pretty little things given the video and everything. I know I've got something to offer somewhere out there, and that's exactly what I'm focusing on right now. So I'm currently not in my house, not in my place. I've visited Gabecha. Yeah, so for the weekend, going back again. So I have a lot of things to think about whenever I'm in that kind of space where I can be sitting alone, doing some reflections, and having to start and go deeper and try and understand certain things. So I'm in a B&B currently. So, um, but guys, I welcome everybody who is currently would be watching as I'm live, or who will watch this video later. You are welcome, more than welcome, and I appreciate your presence and that you've given me your time. And then secondly, I would like to appeal to you guys that you would please love, share the content that I have and that I offer, just for purely learning purposes. There is no profit of sorts attached to everything that I share, and therefore there is no at any point that I'm trying to diss people or to send a certain agenda. Maybe that will be associated or be linked to be criticizing any people, persons, gender, religious organizations, and whatever that I share and that I talk about is based on things that I've had to learn as a person and as an individual. So if it might feel to some people, some persons, that I'm trampling on themselves, it's literally just because of what I share and has not been in any way intended to do that. So now why am I here? I just want to quickly go into this in and out. Um, I've recently shared a status, 2 of them, on my WhatsApp. It is actually from, what's the name of the site? Okay, maybe not mention the name of the site and the individual therefore, but this is not my thoughts by in any way. One, it says, why do narcissists ignore messages? Narcissists, this is an answer. Narcissists ignore messages because they either don't want to talk to you or they are too busy sucking up attention from other people. They might also ignore messages if they think the message is a threat to their ego. For example, if you if you confront them about their bad behavior, they might ignore your message in order to avoid feeling embarrassed or exposed. Then I posted this. This is personally from me that I typed down myself. That was of course after I've read the statement, but it does not associate with the statement itself, but it's just thoughts that had run while in my head. It says any reasonable adult human being should they start blaming the next person for their flaws in life, run, run, and don't look back. Close quote. And then after that, I wrote, why, you ask. Any adult that can't see their contribution to how their choices have led them to any situation, they are not willing to learn, let alone change. I do not think there is anyone who can live with anyone who lives life blindly, never learn or willing to change from life lessons. So, reason that one is written by me, Phelisa.M. So, by the way, my name is Phelisa. I like to call myself M. That is my second name. So, why did I write this? Why did I quoted that quotation I read before this one? I've been confronted with situations, guys, where I've learned and where I got to understand that we are kind of people that do not want to take responsibilities for their actions, one. And we would do and use anything that will vindicate us from having to accept the truth and to acknowledge the faults in us. I've learned that it is very like if you go and watch the videos, I think especially the first part where I'm talking about religious organizations. I've learned that there are people instead of having to accept their errors and mistakes in life, they quickly go and find some if they cannot blame the next person, they will then go and try and find anything that they will blame for their misfortunes, if you can call it that. And in that, those people would literally do and drag everybody that is a part of their life along the stream. I touch bases on that video one on the fact that people they like the sorry religious organizations themselves, they are not very much helpful in the regard where they have to teach people in acknowledging their errors and accepting their faults. Why? Because uh they quickly just go on nah, there's something wrong with you because the reason why you are behaving in this manner is because you were done one two three four when you were a child and you might not be aware of those things, such things like nonsense like that, man. And you find people looking for jobs just like any other person next door looking for a job and they're not getting a job, and the reason behind that, it will be no, the reason why you're not getting jobs, there are people that actually took your luck, or the sort of things like that they say, and that izinto zakho zivalwe kuphi kuphi ngabantu abaso so so, or they don't even name people, they just go to like they being general nje ukuthi this is why things are not working. So I have a problem with that, as I've probably said on the video. I'm not going to go deep in that on this particular video because that's not my focus. I have a problem with that because we are giving people, or we are trying to grow people that will not be able to take responsibilities, that I can actually, if things are not going their way, if they're not getting their way with life, they will tend to quickly blame things to the next person. So now I looked at that. That's a description of a narcissistic person. Yeah. And not by any means I'm calling people narcissists or anything, but it's kind of an interesting definition for me, given what I've been trying to look at and that I've been very much interested in this past few days. Guys, I've been called names by people. Let me not say people, by a person that literally would put your trust and then you laugh, and then somebody comes and then they call you names, and it therefore they required me to literally go back and just try and find out things about that kind of person, their behaviors and the way they do things. And yeah, it's quite interesting. So I got across, I always knew the term narcissist. I've always, but it's not something that I pay attention to. So now we're looking at that behavior as per the first quotation I wrote, the one I posted. I said it's not from me. It became very interesting that we deal with kind of people these days that they do not want to take responsibility, and it's one of the things I shared with a family friend recently, that you know why things are taking the way that the turn that they are taking now, because there's somebody, you are a very close friend of theirs, and then you are going through a lot, that the person you've been sharing everything, every bit of your life with, and then now when things are taking a certain turn, you don't run to that person. And I remember that person has been very close to you, giving you advices, giving you uh assistance physically, emotionally, and otherwise. And now things take a different turn, and then you run away from the person. I said to this friend that a person cannot run to you. It can mean two or more, plenty of things, but the one that I would say to you is they know the kind of a person you are. You guys been friends for more than a year, two, you're it's not a year even, more than, it's been years, right? And they know where to get advice whenever they want to get an advice. They always come through to you, and you are the first person that knows everything that they would want to know. And now secondly, something happens again in their life and they do not involve you on that part of whatsoever assistance they've been needing. So again, let me remind you guys, these are lessons. What I talk about, it's life lessons for me. I'm trying by every possible way not to lead a certain attention to a certain particular person, even though when we learn in life, certain things that take place in our lives, they open up our eyes on a bigger scale. So I'm sorry if anybody or would anybody would feel as if they're being attacked, but it's a lesson for me. So I'm saying to a friend, do not feel somehow in any way, because they know your kind of advice by now. They know you are an honest person. When they are wrong, they know that they are wrong. When they are right, you appreciate for them and you clap hands for them and appreciate the effort and everything that they've been through. Unfortunately, that they were not looking for a truth right now. How will I say they're not looking for a truth? If you know what when you speak to your friend A, they're gonna be honest with you and they're gonna tell you things as they are, black and white, the truth. And you are not looking for that. You know that you get that from B, what you are looking for. That will be will take you and put you on your chest, on their chest, and comfort you, being like, hey, I will stick with you through and thin. I don't care what you did, but you are what you are, my friend, my family, you are whatever that you are to the person. It does not mean when as a bad you are the bad person because they didn't run to you. Simply put, they were looking for some kind of comfort, be it an honest comfort, be it a true comfort, be it somebody that's gonna, yeah, I mean, fall probably in that kind of whatever trap or whatever they're looking for at the time. So you were not that person, because they already crammed you by now. They already know what so and so is gonna tell me, yeah, aski see nan. But you should not have done this. You should not have acted this way. You should not have said this. You should not have. And if a narcissist is not looking for that, is looking for something, someone to blame out there, and you are not that somebody that's gonna be pointing fingers at people and blaming people, they're not gonna run to you. So I posted that, and I get a lot of reaction, a lot of it. And I think some others, they're probably thinking that I posted that for any particular reasons behind. And no, it's just that it became very, I can resonate with that kind of statement. I can personally link it to myself and the kind of things that I've kind of had to experience in the recent past. So don't ever feel bad by somebody not running to you and asking for your advice whenever, even though you've been always been that kind of person to them. It's because at that point they are not looking for what you are going to offer, because they already know what you're gonna be offering. So too, from that kind of statement, it then came back now to myself that even though you can be called and be named names and be said things, sometimes it's not really you who's at fault. It's not really you who is at fault. Sometimes it's just because a person is escaping from who they are. I'm gonna try, excuse me for that. Let me try and do this very quickly and fast without wasting any of your time, because my time is also running out. Alright. So let's very quick and fast. This thing has never helped me. Gonna deactivate the, yeah, thank you, we're good. Alright, deactivate the DSTV. I never watch it for as long as I'm forever here. Oh, so sorry about that. I saw that my battery was running a bit out of battery, so I just need to charge a bit. So sometimes I've learned it is not you, and it is the person, and they know that that really the problem is not you, and the problem is themselves. So if I know the problem is myself, and I'm that kind of a person that is not very happy with blaming myself or taking responsibility for my action. I'm always a person that always looks for any other person or any other thing to blame for anything that happens or take place in my life. I will tend to transfer that to somebody else to try and guilt trip them, make them. And if that my strategies don't work, I'll resort to something else. And just me trying to prove to myself, or not even myself, because myself, I know the truth. Because there's just no way I would not know the truth about myself that yabona Phelisa, yapeta manje. I know that. But I'm trying to prove myself otherwise to the rest of the people. I'm trying to prove myself to be a better person to other people. I will do everything possible in my power not to take a, a blame for whatever action or for whatever thing in my life that is happening. If it fails, that to blame my partner for it. If it fails, to blame my family for it. If it fails, to blame my teacher for it, then there's a problem and I still need to prove that it is not myself. I do anything, nothing you twice and up twice. I feel these are narcissistic behaviors because you come, you see your faults, your errors. But no, nah. If I accept and acknowledge that I was wrong, I'd look somehow. That is so one other part that I'm very much interested in finding out as to how do people feel when they know they are wrong, but they won't say sorry. I don't know what's going on in their mind to say, or they feel that will happen if they say sorry, or yes, I'm wrong, I apologize. But either way, so it's those kind of things that can they tend to make one feel. But now I've done everything possible. I've tried to blame my partner, didn't work. Try to blame my family, didn't work. Try to blame my neighbors, it doesn't work. I have to still do something to prove this thing that it's not my fault that I behave in that manner. I think that is a serial, what do you call, narcissism of sorts, if there is kind of thing like that. So I posted that, guys, and I'm getting a lot of different interesting views, interesting analyses, interesting responses, and yeah, concerns and all. So those kind of people, you know what they they run when they run away from answering those kind of questions, and they or from your posts. I've been really faced with, that's why I probably went. That's why I was literally faced with that situation where you do everything, try to communicate to a person, they'll block you, not block you like from the phone. You'd see they've been through to your posts. Your not posts. I mean, they've been through your messages. They've read them. They won't answer them. If then they don't answer them, if they do answer them, they will not answer the question that is being asked or the request that is being asked. They would rather say something totally different, which has got nothing to do with whatever the request or the concern was about. And you become frustrated on your own on yourself there and be like, either I wasn't clear. You end up having to write a whole lot of notes like this long to try and make, you will never make them understand. It's that is when it came to dawn on me, Woody. No man, this person is no stupid by me, by all means. They are not stupid. This person understand and they know things. There must be something wrong then with them or something wrong with me. And you have to find yourself stick and stuck in that kind of situation, trying to figure out what's wrong with me. Was I not clear? No, you were clear, very clear. It's just they choose when to answer, what to answer, and how to answer it. And to leave their answers on top of you like that, you'll be the one that be sitting and once you realize that, that's the best way to deal with this. And what you realize is, no man, there's nothing wrong with me, really. There is nothing wrong with me. It's just that them, because there is no way that you cannot be clear in, let's say you're requesting to somebody, can I come see you? Okay, let's say the person is like, I'm in such and such a place doing ABC and D. And then you're like, can I come see you? And they do not answer all of that. They give you a request, a reply to say, I didn't see your message. You didn't get the response whether yes or no. Well, I'm only seeing your message now and unfortunately cannot see me where I am. It's not like that. It's like I just saw your message now. And that message leaves you to sit and think to yourself, what is this? Yeah, boy. Or you say to a person, Um, I wanted to make another example, but okay, let me know. Maybe it will for somehow. But at the end of the day, guys, it is not what you've done or what you can do. It is a personal matter. What do they say? There's a post that Julius that was trending up. Julius, good, you cannot be asking us those kind of questions. They are very. It's a personal matter, really. So it is a personal matter. There's nothing that you can do to change a person that thinks that everybody is out there to kill them. And there's nothing you can do with a person that thinks that everything is everybody's fault but themselves. There's nothing you can do with somebody that thinks that you should have done this for me, but you never. Because my problem there is that kind of line of thinking, Guti. If me now were to come and ask, what did you do? You thought that I should have done A, B, C, and D, but I never did done that. What did you do to make sure I get the message and I get it clear? No, you find out most of the time they didn't do anything. Okay, but then that's fine. So that definition for me is very, and it kind of given me some answers I've been looking for. Because sometimes they just not respond because whatever that you be asking, it's just gonna bruise their self. And I even said to this family friend, that why they didn't come to you. It's because they will have to admit certain things, and that is gonna be embarrassing to them, and they're not ready to do that. I didn't even know this description by at any point the time. So I'm like, the fault is not with you that they didn't come to you, yet they are your friend. But it's because they know what certain admissions that they will have to make. They're not going to be in line with what they believe. And certain advices that they're going to be given to them, they are not in line with what they want to hear. So you shouldn't be blaming yourself. Literally, no, blaming yourself, because they know where you are. They have your contacts. They have everything. So, yeah. And then I wrote, me in a personal note myself, that any reasonable adult human being should start blame. Should they start blaming the next person for their flaws in life, you must run. Why I say this, guys, is because this is just early signals of somebody that doesn't take responsibilities in their life. That is as small as we'll probably ignore or even overlook them. But these are very early signals that you meet an adult person, and then they start in your conversations, they start to be blaming this and this and that. Unfortunately, not the things that we look for in life, or whenever we get to engage with people or everybody for that matter. We don't look for those things because we are not looking for those things. It takes one to have to take a step back and reflect on everything that you probably would have gone through or even talked about. But if somebody starts to blame everybody, I mean, guys, even if you went out, you have a choice. You are not retarded. That's a lack of a better word. I don't know if it's a right word or not, but if it's not, I apologize. But that's a lack of a better word. That you're not disturbed into an extent where you cannot make decisions for yourself. You make decisions on daily basis to better your life. And if you then in that position where you can make this, you're not a child by any means. To be like, I do not have a black and white skirt because my mom didn't buy for me. When it comes to kids, you're an adult. You are faced with making choices for your life daily basis, and you still come and sit and blame everybody else about how your life had turned out to. Now, I want to say, not to be, I know the statement would sound to be a little bit less or a little bit more insensitive. Yes, it will sound to be very much insensitive. I do take into consideration what people go through in life, what people are faced with on a daily basis and in their daily lives. I do not take away that people get abused, that people get to find themselves stuck in relationships, that people get to find themselves faced with poverty and everything. No, I don't take that out of this whole argument that I'm coming with. I'm blaming, but that I'm talking about. But what I'm saying now is, if you are faced with a situation or a scenario that, as a person, see us as a family unit, we say that, yeah, this is my sister and my brother, then if somebody as an adult as they are, they just keep on blaming the fortunes or the unfortunes or the misfortunes of their lives to a situation or circumstance that have taken place a while back ago, and in between that they were able to make decisions that they had to live by and that they had to stick by, and that they were so sure that they were right, and then when things are starting to take a different turn, then they go back and blame that situation or that scenario or whatever that is taking place, and there's a problem then. Run. Because these kind of things, they tend to take the other person. Let's say you are now in a relationship with a person like that, they will hold you captive. They will hold you captive for the entire relationship if the person is not willing to change or to accept certain things about themselves and correct those things. Of course, you'll be there as a person. If these things are said and these things take place, you are there to assist the person, but they're not there to hold you captive as the next person. And if you find yourself in a situation where you are with a person that has been through a lot in themselves, and you cannot have a normal disagreement without having to be referred to, I'm so because of that, run. You're not gonna survive. However much you do, you try in essence, but now your hands and your feet, they're being tied. You cannot stop me because I need to do this because I'm so, and when you are so in my life. One, that's point number one. Point number two, that kind of a person you would never move anywhere with because they still tie themselves to that. And you find that most of those people, they don't want to let go of that mentality or that thinking or that situation that happened. Why? Because it works for them when they whenever they want to get away with whatever they want to get away with. Because they know that if I mention that I've been through this, I've been through this, I've been through that, you kind of feel pity for them, and then they get away with murder. You will never get away with that. And thirdly, you would never win that one because that person doesn't want to think for themselves. However much in their lifetime have been faced or in their life they are being faced with making choices for themselves, they don't choose to make choices. They choose to run to, I cannot do this because I've been through this and this and that. Now they stopped using their own brains in maybe to be able better for the betterment of their lives. But now they want to make their choices or do things based on what they've been through. You'll be stuck. Now I don't feel like it's fair personally. All the same, with all due respect to people that have been through in life, including myself also. I know it takes wow, there's certain thoughts we don't want to let go when we want to become a kind of person. There's a point where I held on to what I've been through in life to the point where even if my therapist was trying to shake me so hard that, Phelisa, you are here, you've done so much, you have achieved for yourself a lot of things than for you to be holding on that and blaming your life or your things there. I think you've done a lot. That shows that you are somebody that can move. That shows you're somebody that can do things. But if you still have that pity within yourself, if you do not want to let go that pity that people must look at you as a victim, you don't want to let that go. Because it's like your shield that you use whenever that you have to face reality and that you have to deal with things as they come, and you don't have to face your fears, you don't have to face your errors in life, you do not want to face your failures, you don't want to face the reality of your life as it is today because it embarrasses you, and on top of it embarrasses, it bruises your ego. And then if those things they do that, you won't want to take responsibility. That is an explanation. I know with all faces, that's why I don't go deep in that statement, because that's one amongst some statements that I've read about narcissists. There's certain things that you hold on to for your dear life, even though they don't make value anymore. That let me sit here thinking like, hey, as a child, this and this and this happened to me. And then when everything happens in my life, no, because Mina, I grew up like this. No, Mina, because when I don't get a job, it's like, yeah, I blame those because of the things that they did to me. I think that's a little bit unfair, guys. And in truth and in reality, if we're honest with ourselves, we have to learn to let go of those things. Then I have a problem with somebody that doesn't want to let go or even accept help for that effect, to that effect. So yeah, guys, it is what it is. So now therefore don't forget to subscribe, like and share my videos. Please guys, it's just pure content. There is no expectation of any profit by any point or any whatever. So now this is just for information. This is my life lessons. This is how I learn as I go. I love you all guys. Take care of yourselves. And let me go play with other kids. Yeah, now guys, I love you so much. Please do care by sharing, liking, and subscribing to this content. And it's not meant to be hating, harming everybody. I'm coming back with part 3 on the religious organization issues that we talked about earlier. So yeah, follow me for more. I love you, all of you guys. I love all of you. Take care of your thoughts before they take care of you. Stop living a selfish life, blaming others for things that took place in your life. It is a little bit selfish, especially people that had nothing to do with what you went through in life. It is a little bit selfish, and therefore, let's stop that and live to love and inspire. Live to love and inspire. Thank you, guys.